Professional networks, they're everywhere. We're all in them. We fund them. We spend a ton of time at their events. But let's be real for a second. How many of them actually, truly make a difference? It seems like for every one network that's really sparking change, there are 10 others that are just kind of there. So, what's the secret sauce? What is it that separates a network that's a genuine catalyst for change from one that's just, a name on a website? That is the big question we are going to dive into right now. And we didn't just guess. We went deep, digging through more than 30 comprehensive evaluation reports on networks of all kinds, from water and governance to climate change. We've pulled together all those insights to find out what really works. So here's our game plan. We'll kick things off with what we're calling the network paradox. Then we'll look at 4 all-too-common failure points. After that, we get to the good stuff, 3 secret ingredients for success. And we'll wrap up by tackling the big one, how to prove a network's impact even when it feels totally impossible. All right, let's start by setting the scene. Let's talk about the network paradox. On paper, everyone agrees that networks are absolutely crucial. They're supposed to connect people, share knowledge, drive big changes. But when you ask them to show what they've actually achieved, that's where things get quiet. It's a huge frustration for everybody involved. So where's the disconnect? Well, those evaluation reports we looked at, they're surprisingly consistent about this. They keep pointing to the same 4 recurring problems that tend to trip up struggling networks. Think of these as the 4 common symptoms. First, there's the identity crisis. The purpose is just fuzzy. Second, the volunteer variable, which leads to really inconsistent results. The third is a 2-parter, really. The funding maze, which is all about unstable funding. And finally, the impact puzzle, that struggle to measure what really matters. Let's break them down. So the first and probably the most common pitfall is a full-blown identity crisis. The network tries to do way too much for too many different people, and its purpose just gets completely watered down. And if you don't really know who you are, how can anyone else? And this isn't just a theory. Look at this. This quote from an evaluation of the Water Integrity Network says it all. If your own stakeholders aren't clear on what you're trying to do, there's no way you can make a real impact out in the world. Okay, the second problem is what we call the volunteer variable. So many networks, especially at the national level, are run by incredibly passionate people in their spare time. And their commitment is amazing. But relying only on that goodwill often means performance is all over the map. Exactly. This evaluation of the Water Supply and Sanitation Collaborative Council basically found that a coalition's success was almost entirely down to one person. When your impact depends on an individual, it's just not built to last. And this often leads right into that third issue, the funding maze. Networks get stuck in this cycle of short-term grants, which means they spend more time chasing money than actually creating value. And that brings us to the 4th and final failure point. And honestly, this is the big one. The impact puzzle. Networks are there to make change happen, right? But trying to connect a workshop or a webinar to an actual outcome, like cleaner water, it is incredibly difficult. This quote just gets right to the heart of the challenge. The network can teach someone something new, but it can't force them to go and use that new knowledge to actually improve services. It's this attribution gap that drives everyone crazy. But stick with me here, because we do have a way to solve this. All right, enough with the problems. Let's get into the solutions. The number 1 secret ingredient of a truly great network is finding your focus. Now just look at the contrast on this slide. It's so telling. On the left, we've got that quote again about the network with an unclear purpose, but look at the right. An evaluation of a different network said that its tight focus on sanitation was an excellent choice because it gave them a clear niche. Here's the key takeaway. Being super focused isn't limiting, it's actually liberating. It makes your value crystal clear to everyone. So once you've got that laser focus, the second ingredient is to master the mix of what you actually offer your members. There's no single magic formula here. It's about having a diverse menu of things that provide real value. And the best networks do this brilliantly. You've got the Urban Sustainability Directors Network, which is all about peer-to-peer learning. AGUS Aon is known for its incredible funded workshops. The LEN Network focuses on high-level mentorship. RWSN is a master at connecting people to knowledge, and the Afghanistan Analyst Network provides unbelievable value with its top-notch research. The point is to find the right combination for your members. And that brings us to our third and maybe the most surprising ingredient, understanding what your members truly value. And I'll give you a spoiler, it's probably not what you think it is. Just take a look at this. This is data from a partner's survey. When they were asked what they valued most, look at what's at the bottom of the list: financial support. And what's at the top? Increased influence, knowledge sharing, access to decision makers. The real currency of a great network isn't money, it's connection and influence. And when a network actually delivers on that kind of value, the results are, well, they're powerful. More than 75% of the partners in that same network said it had a significant impact on their work. That's what happens when you stop guessing and start focusing on what really matters to people. I absolutely love this metaphor from an evaluation of a project in Ukraine. A great network doesn't have to be the engine of change itself. Its job is to be the proverbial oil, the thing that reduces friction and helps all the other moving parts in the system work together way more smoothly. Okay, so we know what makes a network great. But what about that impact puzzle? How do we finally solve that problem and connect the oil to the car actually moving forward? The key is to stop trying to draw one straight, impossible line from your workshop to a huge outcome. Instead, you build a logical chain, an impact pathway. It goes like this. Your network activity, say peer learning, builds your member's capacity. That new capacity allows the member to take an action. And that action is what creates the real-world outcome. The network doesn't cause the outcome. It enables the action that creates it. And this is what it looks like in the real world. The Urban Sustainability Directors Network supports its members, and then it simply tracks the actions that those members take. And look, you can see their members are reporting huge success in things like adopting climate plans and reducing energy use. The network enabled it, the members did it, and the impact is finally clear. So, we'll leave you with this one last thought to chew on. Is the goal to build a fantastic network that lasts forever? Or is the real goal to connect and strengthen a system so well that one day the network itself isn't even needed anymore? What do you think?